That's not my fault.
We're his friends. We should have been there.
Yeah, we should have been there.
Yeah, y'all could have been there. I would have kicked your ass too.
Oh, okay. You're saying you would have come for the TMZ title. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, well, all right. Well,
This is TMZ's Inside the Ring.
hello, everyone, and welcome to TMZ's Inside the Ring. I'm Branson Quirke.
I'm Roger Corral.
And we are so excited for this one today because this has been a long time coming.
Yeah, I feel like this has been brewing for a few weeks now.
I almost feel bad because I may have talked some smack online about this person, which I feel terrible about, but it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, we'll see where this goes.
Right. Well, she's a former NXT Women's Tag Team Champion, a true ballsy badass, and after her massive victory just this past weekend at GCW Homecoming, she's putting the entire wrestling world on notice. Welcome, the one and only Shotzi Blackheart. Hey, Shotzi, how you doing?
Great. How are you?
Doing well. Thanks for coming on. This is a long time coming for us. In the short amount of time that this podcast has launched.
It's been a month.
It's only been a month. How you doing today? Where are you at right now?
This is my toy room, but I also do like all my podcasting in here. But yeah, I stick all my horror action figures in here.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. So we just really wanted to have you on because there's so much going on with you right now. You're in the headlines, and it's impossible to not even just begin with what happened over this past weekend at GCW Homecoming. We have to ask, did you know that Kross and Scarlett were going to be there?
Yeah. Well, yes, I did. Yes. That is something that I wanted to happen as soon as I found out that they didn't renew their contracts. Well, I originally just asked Scarlett because, that's my girl and everyone knows that we hang out all the time. And I was like, can you please help me in this? Like, just kick him in the nuts. Like, that's all you got to do. I was willing to fly her out if I had to, but they actually were already there doing a signing not too far away. So it just worked out.
What was your immediate reaction upon seeing this? Because we have the return of Nick Gage happening as well. We have Karrion Kross. We have Scarlett. What's your reaction after all this once the match is actually over?
Man, I just thought that we just really did good business that night. Like, I'm really proud of this match, just how everything was orchestrated. And honestly, I didn't know that Nick Gage was going to be there until like a couple hours before.
Wow.
Because that's something that we had talked about happening, but I had heard that it wasn't going to be a thing. I wanted a shit ton of run-ins in this match.
That's exactly what
that's what we got.
We had like 37 run-ins. And like the day before, I had thought that just Scarlett and Kross were going to come out and help me. And then I found out that, Mance and Jimmy and Nick Gage and fake Nick Gage, Tommy Invincible, and all these druids were coming out. So yeah, me, Matt, and Brett were all talking about it beforehand, and they were talking about all this stuff, and I was popping while we were discussing the match. I was like, what? That's happening? Oh shit, this is crazy.
But don't you think it's a little unfair? I just watching.
God.
Okay, I'm sorry.
God.
Matt Cardona fan here. First guest on the TMZ's Inside the Ring podcast. Historical. I thought it was a little unfair that, he got what? Tommy? I mean, I love Tommy. I'm not dissing. He got Tommy on his side. Love Tommy and all, but you brought Kross, Scarlett, Nick Gage. Like, it's a little unfair, and honestly, I really feel bad for the guy, to be honest with you.
I mean, maybe he should get better friends.
Oh, wow.
That's not my fault.
We're his friends. We should have been there.
Yeah, we should have been there.
Yeah, y'all could have been there. I would have kicked your ass too.
Oh, okay. You're saying you would have come for the TMZ title. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, by the way, I loved the Matt to the future. Did Matt come up with that himself, or is that something?
Yeah, that was really cool.
I loved that. I'm a huge Back to the Future.
Well, everyone came out with really cool entrances. Yeah, were you aware of what he had planned for his entrance? Anything? regarding that?
How do you get a DeLorean?
How do you get a DeLorean?
Right? I have no idea. I did not know that he was coming out on a DeLorean until I got there and I saw it there. And Marty McFly was there. And I was like, what the hell is going on?
So do you feel that you have reclaimed or just continued this? Do you feel that you've reclaimed the Indie God title once again?
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I got back on the Indies, I took that. So,
okay.
There was nothing to reclaim.
Matt didn't stand a chance.
I mean, she has a point, though, because we talked to Matt a couple weeks ago, and I was on his side for a bit, but now seeing you coming out on top with this, you dominated. You got the Garage Beer Championship as well over the weekend. By the way, congratulations.
Yeah, congrats.
Thank you.
And we might have the new Indie God here.
In our presence.
Well, look, I know that Matt Cardona got it copyrighted or whatever, but you can't just copyright King of the World and be King of the World.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Like Ricochet's trying to trademark being bald right now. And you can't just trademark being bald.
That's a true story.
I just saw it on Twitter, actually.
That's hilarious. But yeah, I mean, I came from the Indies. So like I got my contract not renewed. And I just started doing everything that I was doing 6 years ago. And this is nothing new to me. Like everyone's acting like I just started my indie journey. No, my indie journey started 12 years ago.
Right. Well,
and I was on the Indies for, I was on the Indies for 6 years before I got signed. This is new to Matt. Like this is not new to me.
I want to say, so not only did you kill it in the ring, but you killed it with your promo afterwards. Everyone's talking about this. I'm going to quote what you said after your match. You said, you delivered this passionate promo. I don't even know if I can say these words at all. You said, you're getting fucked in the ass raw dog style, and then he's going to drain your fucking blood.
You heard that right.
Yeah.
You heard that
so
right.
when Harvey Levin asked us to be on the TV show, I may have to not use that moment.
Yeah, I don't know if we could use any of this, but what inspired this? Where did that come from?
That was just off the cuff because Kevin came up to me with this violin and we were just chilling backstage and he's like, I want to cut this promo. Can you guys be beside me while I cut it? So I grabbed my husband and I was like, hey, can you film this? And Kross just starts talking and playing this violin and then he breaks it. And I just kind of went off of what he was saying. I had no idea that any of that was going on. I didn't know that he was going to start playing a violin. I didn't know that he was going to break it on camera. And he started talking about draining blood. So I just played off of that.
You did.
And he dropped a ton of F-bombs. So yeah, I was just vibing with what he was vibing.
I have one question concerning a little bit before that. Your entrance, you had an Ozzy Osbourne jacket on, paying homage to the great, obviously. So we talked about this on the TMZ TV show. Becky Lynch is in a little bit of trouble right now. A bit of controversy over her comments about Ozzy Osbourne. The conversation essentially being whether or not she was just trying to insult the city. Kelly Osbourne, very upset about this, putting out her thoughts over it against Becky Lynch. What are your thoughts about this?
Well, like I feel for Kelly because like I was so close to my father, and when he passed, everything was really sensitive to me about it. So I don't think that Kelly really meant that. I think she's just like really vulnerable right now because I think that Becky was putting Ozzy over, and I think that she's a huge Ozzy fan, and I don't think that she meant it that way because she's also a heel, and Ozzy was like a big part of WWE. Like Hunter loved Ozzy so much, so I think that they kind of just wanted to pay a little tribute to him, and then also like shit on Birmingham. And I just think like the timing was just so off, and like obviously Kelly and like her family are going through a lot, and everything's just really sensitive right now. So yeah, it was just not the time. I disagree with like the timing on that, but I do think that everyone at WWE loves Ozzy, as the world does. So yeah, it's hard to say.
No doubt. I think the WWE universe knows that. Yeah. I think they can echo those statements. Absolutely. Going back to the major part of your match, Kross and Scarlett this is the first time we've seen them since WWE and their exit. So this was huge, 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 huge. And now we know Kross will be going against Cardona here in the future. Do you feel that you've created a monster now with Cardona going forward? Like, I feel like you've just created a monster.
I mean, he was already a little bit of a monster.
He tried to bury you alive, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he broke my arm. He tried to bury me alive. This story has so many disgusting layers. But I'm excited to see what happens with him and Kross, because I think Kross is really going to put him in his place. Like I can only do so. I can only do so much at 5'6" and 135 pounds. But Kross is a big boy who's really gonna slap Matt around.
Wow. Well, after this, I feel like you've officially established yourself as a true indie god. What does that title mean to you?
I didn't really know what it meant going in, but like, I'm just having so much fun, and I feel like I've just like reignited myself since coming back to the indies. Like, when I think about it, it's crazy to think that just 3 months ago, I made my return to the indies.
Wow.
And I've done so much with that 3 months, and I've been doing it with a broken arm somehow. So calling myself the indie god, I just feel like I've got my lick back. I've got my confidence back. I really feel like I am the ballsy badass again.
Well, looking at the rest of 2025, 2026, you have a lot coming up. Obviously, you're super booked, super busy. What do you want to achieve? What's your immediate biggest goal you have for yourself for 2025, 2026?
I mean, right now, I'm just more worried about just having a good time, just continuing to have a good time, because I feel like I was in my head for so many years at WWE, and I felt like my creativity was stifled, and now I just want to have a good time and just be creative. And you know what? Spooky season is just around the corner. Pumpkin spice latte.
Yes, I'm so excited. Disneyland, the Haunted Mansion.
Oh, that's right.
They just changed it over, and it's Halloween season now. I love Halloween, so I'm right there with you. And they just changed it all over.
They already changed it over?
It's August.
They do it earlier every single year.
Jesus.
True. Yeah, because I was there. I went last year in September, and it was like the first day that they switched it over.
Right.
So, wow, yeah, they're stepping it up.
Actually, you're right. Universal already started their whole thing as well.
Yeah, I know. I live right next to Disneyland, so I go pretty much every single day. But yeah, they're already hyping on it. I'm right there with you. Love Halloween season, spooky season's upon us, and which means there's a lot of opportunity for you right now, right? Coming up here.
Yeah. I mean, I just announced that I am hosting a Halloween show. It's called Shotzi Blackheart's House of Horrors.
Wow.
Kind of playing off Joey Janela's Spring Break, but this is going to be bigger and badder and scarier than that. GCW presents it in New York. So yeah, I'm really excited for that. I hosted Halloween Havoc for so many years, and I wanted to bring a little bit of that back to the indies. So I'm just going to be focused on promoting that show and just doing all of my favorite spooky things for the next few months.
Well, going back to your time in WWE to now in the indies, just that transformation between then and now, do you feel having that creative freedom is just such a sigh of relief for you now versus your character back in WWE?
Yeah, I really needed this. Like, it's crazy now that I like think about it and just look at all, like everything happens for a reason. And I think WWE not renewing my contract was definitely something that I needed, like as a performer, like just for like my mental health and just like for my confidence and everything. So, I'm just like grateful that I've found the silver lining of getting released from my dream job.
That's crazy. So you were there for a long time, and you worked under Vince McMahon, you worked under Triple H. Creatively, did you ever feel like you had to fight for things more with one or the other? Did you struggle getting some ideas across? I know you're big into horror. You hosted Halloween Havoc. Do you feel like you were ever stifled in that regard?
I felt like as soon as I got to the main roster, I kind of like lost my groove, because at NXT, I felt like everything was flowing for me. Like, creative really understood me, and like every idea that I had, they were down for. And then as soon as I got to the main roster, I just feel like I lost all of that. I mean, granted, I was also going through a lot at that time. So like, juggling, the grief that I was going through and trying to figure out how to find my footing on the main roster was a big struggle for me. And I never really got to prove myself on the main roster. So yeah, I think like my entire main roster run, I was just kind of, just drowning and like trying to get some creativity through.
Do you think any of it changed under Triple H, or was it just the same the whole time?
I felt like there was some light right when he took over. Like he gave me my tank back and he let me be Shotzi Blackheart again, but then I just feel like I'd get a little and then I'd be off TV for like 4 months. So it was it's hard to get yourself over and be creative when you're not on TV for months at a time.
If you were to look at your entire career before WWE, indie, right now, everything, who would you say, and this is probably a very tough question to answer quickly, but who would you say is the most challenging opponent that you've ever had to go toe-to-toe with?
Ooh, the most challenging opponent.
Or somebody difficult to work with.
Difficult to work with. Oh my God, you want the
different?
Yeah, we're just gonna be open with it.
Hey, was this TMZ? See right here? Look, TMZ.
I don't know. Like, the women's locker room was my favorite part, honestly, about WWE. Like, I had like my troubles with like creative and not being on TV, but like the locker room really like stuck together. And like I've always been like a wrestler where I'm just like, whatever you guys want to do, like I'm just down, so I think like people just really liked working with me because I was just always down with whatever they wanted to do.
And I mean, we asked because, you faced a lot of women in NXT, and once you got to the main roster, you had a great match against Ronda. You competed in War Games. So I think we just wanted to dive in more, especially with someone like Ronda. I think a lot of people considered her an outsider, even after being there for like a year or two. Was it difficult adapting to someone like Ronda as compared to like some of the women that you grew up with in NXT and you guys like shared the ring more on a more consistent basis?
Yeah, I mean, I really liked working with Ronda. Like she was always so cool. She would like invite me to her house to come train with her. And she was always down like to just take the most brutal bumps. Especially like after our like pay-per-view match, she was taking some crazy bumps for me. And like she always just like she would like go and look and find all of my craziest moves, and she would be like, I want to take this, let me take this. So yeah, she was always so down. People don't give her enough credit, and like when she's like focused, she's like laser focused on making something look really awesome. But I mean, like when I was with her, she was also like focused on like having a family. She like had just come back from having a kid, and like that plays a factor into everything too. But I'm a big Ronda fan. And also like she's Ronda Rousey, like that name alone brings attention to your match. So like I will forever be so proud to say like, hey, I wrestled Ronda Rousey in a pay-per-view for the fucking championship. Like you can't take that away from me.
Yeah, and you killed it. It was great.
With Ronda in the ring, me and my friends have always wondered, is she a little more rough, a little bit more just coming from UFC and everything like that? Is she a little more rough, or is she, what's the word? I'm trying to find the wording here.
Stiff?
Stiff.
No, she's actually no. Like all of her strikes and stuff, I didn't feel at all. She just made them look really good. Like her judo throws are pretty gnarly to take. Those are legit. Yeah. But other than that, none of her stuff really like landed crazy. Like, I didn't feel absolutely wrecked after wrestling her.
Wow. And going back to, talking about crazy bumps, you took a lot of crazy bumps in your match against Matt Cardona. I saw fluorescent lights. I saw a hoverboard covered in barbed wire. That's a bit much for me. In terms of like your overall hit list, was this one of your most brutal matches that you've ever done? And what would you consider your biggest bump?
Ooh, yeah, this might be my most brutal one, but I actually got out of this one pretty unscathed. My the death match that I did against Matt Tremont and Jimmy Lloyd, I was super cut up on because we went through glass, and that one was really painful, and I was picking out glass for days, and the showers were very painful. That one really, really sucked, but I covered up a little more in this match. So
I noticed that a little bit.
I was like, I'm not going through that anymore because the showers after a death match absolutely suck. That's why I was like, I'm going to wear a long sleeve. I'm going to cover up my belly this time.
Wow.
The final match was brutal. I'm forgetting what the final match was, but it was a lot of blood.
Yeah,
in the ring. They usually wait till the end to do the match.
Just call it a day.
Yeah.
Call it a day.
In this match, I want to ask in particular about. I feel like some people have an issue with this. I think it varies. You're a woman, and Matt Cardona's a man. How do you feel about intergender matches?
I've always been for intergender. Like even in my first run, I used to make T-shirts for intergender wrestling. Like I was a huge advocate for intergender wrestling, and I didn't understand why, especially on the indies, there wasn't more intergender wrestling going on. This time around, I didn't really ask for intergender wrestling, but it just kind of happened. My biggest feud is against Matt Cardona, but sometimes, sometimes it is a little difficult because he's so much bigger than me. So we really have to play with that size dynamic. But luckily, Matt doesn't give a shit, and he'll get in there with someone my size.
You know who does give a shit though? Tommy Invincible.
Oh boy,
Tommy will not touch a woman in the ring. He doesn't want to.
That's so.
Remember, he told us that on the last interview.
It pisses me off, and I'm like, bro, I'm not a victim. I'm a willing participant, and it's honestly offensive to me that you don't want to hit me. If we're ever in a match, I'm going to slap you around so much until you punch me in the face.
So if Tommy Invisible, refused a match with you, you take offense to that?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, he is a heel now. He's a heel now. At least for one night, he was.
At least for one night.
What was the crowd reaction to that when he came out as a heel that night?
They were pissed.
I think I saw 10 middle fingers in his face, just constantly
Nick Gage is royalty, especially at GCW, and you don't fuck with that. So for him to come out and disrespect Nick Gage and dress like him and, come out to his music, that is a huge dishonor at GCW. So, I knew the crowd was going to fucking eat him up, and they did. They did. I know that GCW crowd.
And he's just such. I don't think he can ever be a heel, man. He's such a nice guy. He tried, but he said it was for one night. So good for him.
He was honestly not down for the spot. He was like, man, I can't believe Matt Cardona's making me do this.
Matt
Cardona kind of owns him, huh?
I think so after this. Yeah, he does.
He owns him.
Yeah, he really is Matt Cardona's little bitch.
There we go. That's what I wanted to say in nicer terms. Because if he hears me say that, he's going to call me and say, you can't hurt me.
We'll let Shotzi say
it. So at this very moment, where do you and Matt Cardona stand? What's next for you guys? Or is it over?
You know what? I keep saying that this was the last run, but now that it's over, I kind of miss him.
You kind of miss kicking his ass.
I do. I love the banter online. I love that, he really goes at it. for someone to put in as much energy as I'm putting in, I think that's what made this so magical and so like organic, because we just really went at it. Like this feud was supposed to just, I mean, this wasn't even supposed to be a feud. Like we were just bantering online and it was going to be like a one-off match. And then it turned into like this huge summer long feud. So, yeah, I kind of miss him, and I'm a little jealous that he's moved on to Kross. Like I feel like I got broken up with, and he's on to the next already.
No, you were on top, and I would say more on top. We saw that spot at the end of the match. In terms of right now, you're a free agent. You have so much freedom to choose what you want to do. Would you be open to, let's say AEW comes knocking at the door, WWE comes back, now that you're getting a taste of being a free agent, maybe more free time, depending on what you choose, would you immediately jump at the opportunity, or would you think about it for a while?
Man, when I first got back on the indies, I was kind of thinking like, oh, well, like if WWE or AEW hit me up, I'm gonna take whatever comes at me. But like now I'm just like, I'm having so much fun. And also my arm is still broken.
Sure.
So I'm a little like self-conscious about that. Like I don't want to go back on TV. I want to like rehab my arm and get my strength back. So that plays into it too. So I really just want to like finish off this year and just have like a really good time on the indies and just fulfill myself creatively and keep building my confidence so that if I go back to TV, I'm like at full Shotzi potential, full ballsy badass, and I have all of my strength back in my arms.
Yes. Well, when you went to the hospital, what did the doctor say about that, by the way?
They said, don't go back out there.
Wasn't it? It was because of the tank, right? When he ran over your arm?
So now that I feel like the feud is over, I can give the tea. Like, no, it's not because of the tank. Like I actually broke my arm in one of my first matches back on the indies.
Oh wow.
And then
got you.
I took a steel chair to my arm while I was doing a dive, and I knew immediately. And it was like the first spot of the match, and I continued to wrestle for another like 12 minutes with a broken arm.
Wow.
Jeez.
And I went and got an x-ray, and I went and saw like 3 different doctors, and they all told me that I needed surgery. But I really didn't want to do that because I didn't want to stop like my momentum. I'm like, damn, I just got back to the indies. Like,
for sure.
I told the one doctor, I was like, okay, what if we just put a cast on it and I just keep wrestling?
Oh, wow.
And he was like, all right, well, I'll just like really double up the cast. That's why like my first cast was so thick, because the doctor knew that I was going to keep wrestling on it. But if you look at the x-rays, like that thing is very broken. But and he was worried that I would lose like rotation in my arm for good. But I got another x-ray a week ago, and it's actually healing really well, and I'm getting a lot of my motion back. So I don't have to re-break my arm and get surgery, thankfully.
Wow.
I think we're good. Like I just need like a few more weeks in the cast while I'm wrestling. And we're going to be golden.
You did all this with a broken arm, dude.
I was going to say, these sound like the words of the one true indie god.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I mean, like, I don't hear Matt Cardona. If Matt Cardona broke his arm, he'd probably be out. He'd probably be out for a little bit, huh?
Yeah, right. No, he'd be gone. He'd be like,
he'd be in his pool, smoking his cigar, hanging with Chelsea, playing with his action figures, hanging out with Edge. No, I'm just kidding. Well, thank you so much for being on with us today. Thanks for giving us the tea. I know it's TMZ, so we
TMZ.
TMZ.
Exactly. Good luck in everything you have coming forward. Anything you want to promote coming up to anything, tickets-wise, anything?
Yeah, so I just announced Shotzi Blackheart's House of Hard, presented by GCW. It'll be October 24th in New York. You can get tickets this Friday. I'll have the link up on my X and Instagram, all that stuff. You'll find it very easily if you just look at my socials. But I'm really excited for that show.
Hey, September 20th, GCW comes to LA. So if you're here,
if Shotzi's
you're
here.
in GCW that
too.
week, come out to studio and we'll do something here. It'd be fun.
Yeah, we'll be here.
Ooh, that'd be great.
Hey, I'm serious about this TMZ championship. It's gonna start becoming a problem. It is. All right, Shotzi, thank you. Talk to you later.
Thank you, Shotzi.
Bye.